Yo, what's up, Crocs and clan members and other shows on this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today I'm going to be talking about my experience in my first ever Super Smash Bros. Tournament. Let's go. Now, I don't have footage of the actual tournament because the tournament like 2 hours long, and I don't have the time to make. I don't have the time limit to use that kind of footage, and also I don't. You really. I don't. You couldn't. I couldn't do it. It was just not gonna work. Um, but the tournament was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was my first time going to. This is my second tournament ever in my life. The first one was a VGC tournament for Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold and Soul Silver years ago, and this is the second time I've entered any sort of tournament. And it just so happened that my local GameStop was having a Super Smash Bros. Wii U tournament for the launch, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go, and I had fun. I did. The tournament was small, but then again, it's a very small GameStop, anyways. And it's a very small location. Like where there was it's a location where not a lot of people go to, so I didn't expect to go there and have see like 100 people at the tournament. But you know what? Even though it was a small group, I had a lot of fun. My only problem with the way they set up the tournament is they didn't follow tournament rules. Because if you all know, tournament rules are it's two stock with I think it's 5 minutes, 10. I don't remember how many minutes, but it's two stock, and it's best 2 out of 3. This was 5-minute time limit, no stocks, and it was, if you won or you lost, and if you lost, well, you're out, and then if you won, you move on to the next round. So it wasn't following tournament standards, so that kind of messes you up. Also, this is just advice for you guys. If you do plan on getting Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, please, for the love of God, buy the GameCube controllers, or at least use your 3DS or the Pro controller, cause fuck the gamepad. I'm sorry, I love the gamepad. I don't have a Wii U, but I've played the Wii U. Like a friend of mine has it, so I have played it. And I do love the gamepad, but for Smash, fuck that thing. That thing is horrible. I couldn't okay, at first round I won, which was, it was fine. I went with Kirby because I feel more comfortable with, even though my main in 3DS version is Robin. I've played Kirby in every single game. He's been my main in every single game. So going into a console version, I felt more comfortable choosing Kirby. Here's the thing though. They only had the gamepad and then 3DS. So you would use the 3DS as a controller. So I decided to go with, since I had chosen Kirby, I was going to go with Kirby. So the first round, I felt bad. I gotta admit, since this was my first Smash tournament, only my second tournament in my life, I was nervous as hell. So I went in, and it took me, I went up against a little kid. So first off, I was like, okay, well, I can't lose to a little kid. But then it couldn't be like a complete massacre because, well, it's a little kid. It's kind of unfair. But I used my 3DS, right? So I connected my 3DS, and I was using my 3DS as my controller. And I had my Kirby, and then he used, I think it was Greninja. Yeah, it was Greninja. And I won. And I was like, okay, not bad. I mean, I was nervous as hell, but it was a good. Like I said, the fact that it was timed, it took longer because you have to wait till the time runs out. And then, I waited for my next turn. So round 2, I once again the same place. I actually had to leave my 3DS there so that other people could use it. So it was a gamepad, a 3DS, and then there was another TV that had a gamepad and somebody else's 3DS. So my turn again in the same spot. So I took my 3DS again, and it was me using Kirby versus this guy using Pit. Now this guy was a lot older, so I didn't feel the need to go feel so as nervous of the fact that I'm facing a little kid. But I'm still nervous because it's a tournament, so you gotta be. It's Smash, so when you focus, you get serious. And that match was a lot more close because it's actually an older person, maybe knows how to play the game better. I still won. I think it was like 3 falls to 1. I think I don't know if I remember. And then afterward, oh, and also that's another thing I could say. If I hadn't realized that anybody could control the little stage chooser, I would have had to because they weren't playing like Final Destination form. Like they were just going at it random. And if I hadn't noticed that anybody could control it, I would have had been play, but since I realized it, I actually changed it to Final Destination form before the battle started. They're controlling over there which stage it is, but I changed it so it was Final Destination without them noticing that I changed it that it was to Final Destination, which helped a lot because I screw the hazards and screw all that stuff. Thank goodness they weren't playing with items, because otherwise I would have been flipping out. But so I beat him. I think it was 3-1. And then my friend, because I went with a friend of mine, and he's like, "Thank you for avenging me," because it was the same guy that he faced and he lost to him. I was like, okay, I guess. And then the third round, which was the quarterfinals, like I said, really small group, but the quarterfinals, and then it took me in the other TV, so I couldn't go to my 3DS. And then the guy who I was facing took the 3DS, so I had to use the gamepad. And then, even though I was able to get the Final Destination form, he took Kirby. So I was like, fuck! And I don't know why I didn't choose Robin or somebody else, but I went with Pac-Man for some reason. Which, I mean, I'm okay with Pac-Man. Okay. But I should have probably gone with like Bowser Jr. or like Ike, which I'm way better with those characters, or even Robin with my main. So I could have gone with any of those 3 characters and probably done way better than I did with Pac-Man. But so this is what happened. I couldn't shield. I didn't know. I kept pressing buttons and I couldn't shield, which meant that I couldn't roll. So I couldn't dodge some of the attacks that he was doing, and so. And then like some of the controls were weird. It was just too big for a controller for Smash. I was doing stuff and I was completely confused. Some of the moves weren't working. It was just random. I couldn't deal with it. And then at least it went to sudden death, right? So like this is the worst. This is why I meant like I couldn't shield and it's what meant I couldn't roll. This is why that was a problem. Because we went to sudden death, I was Pac-Man, he was Kirby. I went and did the side B because that has a lot of range and it can knock you at sudden death. You're gonna die. But he like I almost got him, but he jumped. And if I had been able to shield, I could have rolled back because he did the stone. I would have been able to dodge it and then knock him with the side smash. But because I couldn't roll because during the match between him, every time I tried to use a shield, it always went for the grab. So I couldn't figure out how to use the shield on the gamepad. And so because of that, I couldn't roll back, and so he hit me with the stone and I lost, and I was like, that was gay as fuck. It was gay as fuck. So kids, don't use the gamepad for Smash. Just put it down. Just put it down, and don't even touch it. Just turn on the game and then put the gamepad down, and then remove that as a controller because it's not gonna work. I would much rather use the 3DS than use the gamepad for Smash. I'm sorry. That's just I'm being real here. Okay, I'm being real. That just no, it's too big and the buttons are weird and no. So Pro Controller, GameCube controller, or 3DS, done. Like nothing else. I'm being serious. Just nothing else. But other than that, like it was a fun. I did have fun. Like I said, the only thing that would have made it better is the whole stock thing. Make it stock and not typical tournament style, or do it typical tournament style. And not this random time limit thing, because that clearly doesn't work. But yeah, so I at least made it to the quarterfinals. But then again, it was a small tournament, so whatever. I honestly think that if I had been able to get the 3DS, even if I had to pick Pac-Man, as if it was on the 3DS, I would have been completely fine. Like straight up, I would have been fine to go, and would have been good. But other than that, you learn to deal with stuff like this. I had fun, and if another tournament ever happens, I'll gladly go to it. But I ain't dealing with no gamepad. I'm gonna straight up go, nope, I ain't doing no gamepad. You give me another controller or a 3DS, or I'm not playing. I'm sorry, I'm not dealing with a gamepad. But you know what? That's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know if you want to drop a comment down below, just saying whatever. I want to let you guys know that I'm gonna extend it to tomorrow, but technically speaking, today is supposed to be the last day of the straw poll. But I'm gonna leave it till tomorrow. There is a tie for second place, and I really need that tie to go away. So if you haven't voted yet, I'll leave a link to the straw poll in the description box, so you can go click on that and vote for the walkthroughs. Sunday, I'm gonna do the video explaining which ones won, so that you guys know which walkthroughs I'm gonna be doing, and then we'll go with that for the week and on and on and on. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys in future videos.